Hi, y'all. It's Gord here. Happy Saturday story time. I usually tell a story on Saturday, sit and share a few uh, bit of meds with you and tell a story in my past. Got a long past, so I got a long stories and lots of stories. Um, this one, though, cheers. By the way, yes, it's a weekend with my son. My son's way in the other room with my door closed, and this is CBD. I have to. I don't care about the restrictions when my pain is this bad. I have to look after my son. If I have zero painkillers, and this is all I have for painkillers, if I can't take a painkiller at all and CBD doesn't go to the head, then he has to look after himself. So that isn't going to happen. I'm a good father. So cheers first. Cheers. And the story I want to tell you, even though, you know, yes, I'm going through a divorce, but I had some wonderful times with my ex-wife, and I have some wonderful memories. And I told my good friend, my rosin partner, Rebecca, I told her this story, and she really liked it. A lot of people don't understand what weddings are like in Eastern Europe, especially with the Russians. Um, and it's a fun story. So I was in Riga, Latvia. The day is November 20th, 2006, 2005, a decade ago, November 20th, 2005. And I am being picked up by my best man, Annie, my wife's girlfriend, and soon to be wife's girlfriend, at her apartment. But she was not there. She was not there for the night before. And I'm being driven to the church. At the church, I was told to bring with me as much rolled coins, and they gave me a bunch of rolled coins I bought from them of rubles and centimes and stuff like that they have there, different money. But also a bunch of different bottles of liquor, two of which I brought from Canada. Um, because of the traditions of Russian wedding. Now, normally a Russian wedding is going to go at least 2 days. They didn't do that for me, but I get to this place, and the idea is I'm supposed to go. It's about a block away from the church. Pick up Olga, my soon-to-be wife, and walk her to the church, and then marry. And I haven't seen her for a day. And but in front of this place, which is also going to be our reception, and it was a restaurant. We rented the restaurant. Cheers. And so I get out in front, and first I have to get past not just all her friends and family to get her, and her mom and dad, but even strangers on the street. I mean, it's so normal there that strangers on the street would stop and say, "You can't, are you marrying someone in there? No, you can't go in there. Pay me first. Dingy, which is Russian for money." And these people would, her girlfriends would stop. They were outside of the restaurant and they would stop people and say, "Do you think he should be allowed to go in and get his wife? Not if he doesn't pay me." And so a lot of money went to people I just didn't even know. Then I get to the front of the reception, and there stands Mama. Yeah, Maya Doce, my daughter. I so I had to talk her into it with a bottle of really expensive wine, and more money. Then I get inside and I get stopped by her friends, and they have a bunch of balloons, and I'm supposed to pop the balloon and answer the question about Olga. I got all the answers right. They let me through to the next round. The next round, one of her girlfriends stops me and insists, absolutely no way, absolutely no way. I want liquor, I want liquor. So I gave her a couple of bottles, and then she said, okay, here's Olga. And she brings out another one of Olga's girlfriends. All of her girlfriends are just gorgeous. And I says, that's not Olga. You say she's not beautiful? And very few people speaking English. There was some translating going on and everything, and I have to be very careful. So part of me scared, part of me is excited, and I just say, "Oh, she's beautiful, красивая, da." But my wife more pretty, so they let me through there. Running out of money, running out of liquor, and then finally, there were more challenges. There were more challenges. There was a poster of 9 lip marks, kisses, and I had to pick my wife's. I lost that challenge. That cost me 2 bottles. Um, I can't remember them all because there were so many. And then I got in front of Dad, and Dad cost me a bottle of true Napoleon brandy and a bottle of Canadian triple distilled whiskey. Uh, and a fair amount of the rest of the money I had. Then finally they give me my wife. They bring her out. Then we get blessed and get sent off to the church. And we're 7 minutes in. I'll skip through the church part because it was beautiful, but there was no English. In fact, there was no Russian. It was all Slavic, ancient Slavic, sung to the rooftops. Just beautiful. But then we go back to the reception, and I think it's over. I had totally forgotten that my wife had warned me. She was my wife by then, but she had warned me long before when we said about getting married was sometimes they steal the bride. They stole my wife during that evening. It's meant to teach the husband, never let go of your woman. Never let her out of your sight. It's a lesson I didn't learn because she ran away 2 years ago to some other Russian. But that's the lesson that they want to teach. Maybe it doesn't work. But I'm sitting at the head of the table and some girl from the kitchen wearing kitchen stuff, comes to my wife and says, we need to talk about the cake. And I says, okay, let's go. And no, you don't come. Pasha, please, I'm busy. And so I let her go. But time passes and she isn't coming back. So I go and I go downstairs, and the girl's there, not my wife, and she won't let me down. She won't let me in the kitchen yet. And she doesn't speak English. Although I heard English before, I was sure. So I go and get Annie. Annie and Ola's dad, Vladislav, start helping me. And they tell me, you should go find your wife. And so I go downstairs and I go past this woman. Hell with you. I'm going to be that strong man. But I'm also the only person on my side of the family there, the only true English person there, and a lot of people think I'm rich. I wasn't, but Canadian, that I think my wife's been kidnapped. And I look all through the kitchen. I can't find her. I go back upstairs. I go outside. I go up and down. Then Annie tells me about, they take your wife, but you gotta find her. I can't tell you if she's okay or not. And I'm not kidding you, with her dad's help, we scoured. And then I went back down to the kitchen and I found there was a door that led into the hallway to the back of the building. And the buildings were all connected with this. And so I go down this hallway and I hear something near a circular stairway going 6 stories up to and that's about the tallest building there, 6 stories up. I ran three stairs at a time up 6 stories. By the time I got to the top, and there was Ola tied to a chair. I had to untie her, but it was all meant to be fun. All meant to be fun. Uh, Certainly later that night, anybody asked her for a dance, they were dancing with both of us. So there's my story of the Russian wedding. Certainly there were more challenges. There were much more. There were a bunch of contests. They call them concours, where whoever wins, that determines who manages the house. And I won that. Who manages the finances? She won that. How many children we'll have? All those kind of things. It's kind of neat. So there's my story for Saturday. I wish you all well. It's minus 18 degrees Celsius right now outside, but no winds. It's still freezing cold. Probably going nowhere today, just hanging out with my boy. Peace, cheers, love, and harmony. If you find somebody without a smile, give them yours. You have more to spare.